because this gives a very valid finisher for those control decks.
Let's go!
So I decided to compile a list of cards you should watch out for. So as soon as pre-release hits, these are some cards you need to watch out for, or if you're lucky enough to pull them in pre-release, something you should keep or keep an eye on. So the first card to keep an eye out for, it's just an uncommon, is this Haku, Hidden Talent. It has an ability here, again out of stock because it's not ready until the 21st. So it has an ability that whenever an ally enters the Earthbend one, the reason you have to keep an eye out for this, ignore my shopping cart here. There's some things I have to get for a fun deck there. Anyway, yes, so there's a card that allows whenever a land enters for you to create an ally, which creates an infinite loop with this. I can't recall if it's in standard, but it'll be for sure something that they want in EDH, and would be basically a indeterministic loop, meaning you can keep the loop going as long as you want. The loop is that you play a sack land, then you create an ally, you earthbend onto the sack land, you search for your land by sacrificing it, earthbending will trigger, allowing you to bring back the land, which will trigger the other spell, which will allow you to create another ally, earthbend onto it again, so you'd pull all the lands out of your deck. I'm trying to remember the card and if it's in standard. If it's in standard, this will be a very quick combo piece. I don't think it is, but for the EDH players, especially in green, this would be something that they would very much look forward to. And we're in a place where a lot of these cards already, we have a lot of uncommons that hit like $2 to $5. That would be another thing to look out for. Because from 35 cents to like $5, that's a big jump. So that's our first card there. Next, we have Katara, the Fearless. So two things. Firstly, it's one of the very popular characters from the franchise. And secondly, it has this ability that triggers with allies that allow them to trigger again. So this will be very, very fun to play. Also, it'll be very collectible, so it's a lot of collectors going after it. Again, don't worry about the price, and I believe it has an alt art for it. Thing to note, Aang is not only listed as the chase card for the set, the alt art will be the de facto one people would want over the regular art, so that wouldn't be on this list. So again, popular character, so people would want it. Aang would be sought after, but there'll be lots of them because everybody will chase the alt arts. Next, we have another card that'll be super good in standard. That's Momo, Friendly Flyer. Again, ignore the price. We're looking at the ability and how useful it will be. So the first non-numeric creature spell with flying your cast during each of your turns costs 1 less to cast. So, again, we're now in a long format. There are lots of flying creatures and this will open up a lot for many, many decks. It's a 1-drop in white, meaning you'll be able to get this out turn 1 as a 1-1 flyer. So that's easy damage there. And this ability to make another flying creature cheaper, very, very strong. I remember it didn't say Lima, it says non-Lima, meaning anything besides Lima with flying will be 1 cheaper. And we're in a format with a lot of flying threats. And getting a 3-cost creature down to 2 would be very, very good. We also have in Shocklands back in the format, so splashing colors isn't that bad. So it's another one to look out for. This $1 price tag going to be way more, and again, this also has an alt art. Next, we have Fire Lord Zuko, again, another fairly popular character. Ignore that. And this ability, Firebending, it is very much not very known, or a little bit slept on. It allows you to add this red mana when you're attacking, which again, you only have a junior combat, so it seems like it's not that good, but remember, we already have these prowess decks that are ruling the format. With this, it gives the prowess decks access to red mana during combat. Meaning you can attack with your prowess creatures and then get mana to cast instants like your shocks, like your tutors, or anything else, as long as it's red, in combat. Meaning, even if it is turn 2 or turn 3, with the fire breathing, fire bend, I don't want to say fire breathing, with the fire bending, they'll be able to actually accelerate damage. Because it's something like this, on turn 3 or turn 4, depending on how you get this out, when you attack, you'd have access to the red, white, black, as well as 3 red mana. So you might be able to, if you have like 4 shocks in your hand, be able to cast all 4 because you have access to 4 red mana on your turn 4, as well as a red and a black, even, and that's not counting if you even hit your land drop as well. So, that's a thing to note. The firebending mechanic will be very good along with the prowess. And this also allowing you to get bigger and being a popular character will be something sought after as well. I'm not sure how well the Madu mana will play in standard, but the firebending mechanic in general will be very strong. It's the cheapest of the Zukos. There's a 4 mana one here with also firebending 3, but again, shocklands in the format wouldn't be too hard to get off. Next, we have Toph. So, Toph is going to be very, very strong, and again, popular character, so both useful and collectible, and mythic. It changes all of your non-token artifacts into lands, meaning any of your artifacts are now lands. So it protects a lot of your stuff from the removal that says non-land, means that your artifacts will now have protection from those things, as well as some of your actual artifacts that sack themselves. If you earth, you can now earthbend them, sack them, and they return. So that's something to take very good note out of. And this has a earthbend every turn. So even if you earthbend onto one of your lands that's already there, it means that you could now sack that land, or if that land's destroyed, you get it back, so you don't lose the lands. And you're playing green and white, so ramp out all the ass, as well as a lot of other utility there. So, good thing to note. Again, this comes in the special art, where you see her in the pose like in the beginning avatar, so that may be the most expensive version, but still, all versions should see somewhat of play or somewhat in collectors. Because some people would like to collect all versions of it, so don't even sleep on the regular version of it. Next, we have you, the Moon Spirit, and arguably this will be one of the cards I will see the most play, because this gives a very valid finisher for those control decks. The waterbending ability, which can be used for tapping 5 creatures to put any creature on the battlefield, and that's a cast trigger, or sorry, a non-creature spell, meaning we have Omniscient now in the foundation set, meaning you could actually just have it. This may actually allow them to play Omniscience even quicker, because all they will be looking to do is simply get 5 creatures or artifacts on the board with this and just some counter spells to Omniscient and win the game. So this is going to be arguably one of the strongest cards in Avatar, because again, this 5 is nothing. That's 5 artifacts or creatures, and in a control deck, you should be able to have that readily and easily to just, and again, it says cast. So you're getting the cast triggers as well without paying the mana cost, which is exceedingly strong, especially in blue, and with a mana cost of 4 and only 1 blue pip, you will have that tempo there with those tempo decks to just have you going. And again, thing to note, it also has flying. So in the classical control colors of blue-white, you can have Momo turn 1, turn 2 counter spell, turn 3 you, and some tokens, or another counter spell and something making tokens every other turn, or even an artifact, and then just smack down your Omniscience or any other non-creature spell you want to cast. And our final card to keep an eye out for is Redirect Lightning. Again, it's a lesson, meaning it's not just in your deck, and something you could just have. But remember, the lessons in standard don't follow a color rule. So this could be a lesson in many decks, especially tempo decks, where they would normally not have space. Just having this in the sideboard as access means they'll have access to a deflecting SWAT in their sideboard. So this will be another piece that will be somewhat expensive, especially being pushed by the standard format. Because the option given, especially in a format where you have shock lands, means that this card will be just available. And again, we in a place with a lot of these red decks, being the Red Rush and the Prowess decks. Just having that extra mana just to have access to a lesson card is not something that they wouldn't want, especially it going into a mid game if they don't already outright win early, to just kind of even the odds. But those are just a few cards that I just wanted to list that you can keep an eye on. So when they release, if you can get them quick enough, or if you pull them in pre-release, something for you to hold on to because of either collection or even use in standard, they should have significant value. So just want to make a video giving you a heads up. We don't have any new spoilers. We had that new news with the ban list and stuff like that, and the bracket changes. But there have been enough larger channels covering that. So if you like news on YouTube for Magic, I'm pretty sure I saw it already. So that's why I didn't cover it. If I see a request or anything like that, I would gladly cover it. But I think that'd be a bit unnecessary. So again, thanks. I will try to keep up when the spoilers start. I'll be on the ball. But for now, this is a little heads up, because this is what I would be looking at to see if I could get these before the price goes up. And of course, we could always look at the other versions of them, because we have like these arts and we have the specialty foil that's not here for some reason, and those would also be very much sought after, because again, this looks beautiful, and you can see how the foiling will be in this borderless. That'll be amazing. That's all. I hope you find this useful. Like, subscribe, and make sure and ring the bell to keep up with the news, so you can get news as fast as possible, because I usually on the ball with the magic news. So link with our boy. Have a good one. Bye. Again, thanks for tuning in. Fuck me. Fuck this game. Bye.